Yahoo and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mara and today I would like to review the Netflix series All of Us Are Dead. Sounds interesting, right? If that is interesting to you, keep watching. All of Us Are Dead is a new Korean series on Netflix, which hit Netflix just in the beginning of 2022, and it has one season with 12 episodes, around 50 to 70 minutes long, and a rating of 16. So you can expect some gore, some blood. It is very entertaining, to say the least, and it is based on a Korean webtoon with the same name, even though I found information that it was also called Now at Our School. And this webtoon went on from 2009 to 2011, and it is about the Korean Hyosan High School, which, happens to have a zombie outbreak. So it is basically ground zero for the zombie apocalypse, and students that go to that school are trapped in the Hyosan High School and have to fight their way, through the halls, through the classrooms, and somehow survive. It is definitely an intense battle between students and zombies, that try to turn them, eat them, whatever, the usual zombie stick, Broken down, this series plot is about students turned into zombie hordes and other students that are trying to survive. And they have to do so by fighting off these zombie hordes without food, without water, with the internet and the telephone connection turned off by the government, because why wouldn't you do that? And it is so interesting and entertaining to watch, because these surviving students, they have to fight off these zombies using whatever they can find around them, which is bookshelves and lamps and broomsticks and whatever, even bows, which was quite interesting for me to see because, recently last year tried archery and it was so much fun. So that would definitely be me in a zombie apocalypse. And yeah, it is very, very entertaining. We see a lot of blood, a lot of, gore as well. Like I said, people eating other people's faces off. No. The cast contains of mostly young, unknown actors that did their job quite well, I have to say. One of those characters was also in Squid Game, so I think those two shows kind of overlapped probably, and she got both roles, and then whatever came out, sooner. So she played that one girl with, the marbles, playing the marbles game with the, bigger character. Anyways, everybody loved her, and she's also in All of Us Are Dead, so I don't know her name, I'm sorry, but she's in, All of Us Are Dead, and I didn't like her character, just to put that out there. Her character was quite annoying to me, as well as some other character. We did have some special zombies. I hope that is not too much, to tell. But there were some of them, and I definitely liked the concept of that. But sometimes it didn't really make sense, because for some of those, not the same rules applied to similar, characters that also were kind of a special zombie. Wow, this sounds just so confusing, I guess, but you have to watch the show to understand what I'm talking about. I don't want to go into too much detail, because then I would spoiler the whole thing, and I don't want to do that, so I'm going to here. And yeah, like I said, that one student, turned into a zombie. He was annoying as a student. I didn't like him, so when he got bit, I was like, oh, okay, finally he will be gone. And then no, he was sticking around, and he annoyed me throughout the whole series. Sometimes in shows you have that one particular character that you don't really like, and I definitely do know why I didn't like him, because he was a fucking bully. Damn! And I don't like bullies, so of course, I didn't like his character. And also some other characters throughout this show behaved in a way that didn't make sense, honestly. Because if you think about a zombie apocalypse, you definitely know that zombies are attracted by noise. We know that from The Walking Dead and from several other shows and movies. So you better shut up if zombies are around. And in this show, of course, there are also people that can't, listen to those rules and just have to run around yelling, shouting, making noise. And it's just, I don't understand it. But luckily, there are not too many characters like that, so I could kind of deal with it. The other characters, though, since this plot is held in a school, there are so many people involved, so many characters that we kind of shortly, get to know, and then they kind of turn, and then it's just a whole big mess to me. Of course, it was interesting and entertaining to watch, but for me, too many characters to really build a relationship with and to really get invested in. So by the end of the series, yes, there were some survivors and some people that I was like, oh, please don't die. But by that time, it was already kind of, too late and the series was almost over. So I'm looking forward to hopefully a second season. In general, I definitely, even though it doesn't seem like it right now, I definitely enjoyed the whole series. I like the zombie apocalypse survival drama kind of, setting. The effects were mostly handmade. The special effects makeups looked so good. A couple of the bigger scenes where a lot of the cast was in, they shot in, one go, so they had intense choreographies and they continued to just repeat everything over and over and over again to get a nice shot. So that was quite interesting for me. And the wardrobe was intentionally picked in green colors. Of course, we have Korean school uniforms, but they are green. Why? Because green is a complementary color to red. So the blood and everything would pop on those green, school uniforms, which was something that I definitely saw and liked. So I wanted to mention that as well. And like I said, the effects in general were also good. Not only the special effects makeup, but they had some explosions, stuff like that. They actually built the high school as a set. They didn't really do too much with CGI and stuff like that, so even the movement, of the zombies was choreographed and done well, I think. So I would definitely like to do that, play a zombie in a show somehow. That would be cool. I would like to have a choreography to move like real zombie, That would be nice. But anyways, in general, I definitely enjoyed the show. I felt the love that they put into the show. They shot, like I said, I think the show over 2 years. So that was very interesting to me as well. And I could definitely feel the time and love and effort that they put into the show. I binged this whole show within, I think, a weekend or so. I was on the edge of my seat most of the times. I kept on watching one episode after another and lost quite a lot of sleep on this show. So trust me, I enjoyed it, mostly also because there was social criticism in this whole show. Because when you watch the beginning of the series, we see bullying, people from different backgrounds, people from different social statuses, people with less money, people with more money. And even before the zombies turned up, people were treated differently and were bullied for their background. And it was just so hard for me to watch because, like I said in an earlier video, my brother got bullied when he was very, very young. It started when he was in elementary school and went, along, even though he switched classes and I think also schools and stuff like that, but people just kept bullying him, beating him up, and it was just so difficult to watch that in the show because it's just not fair, because children, they can't, they don't have any influence in where they come from, the background, the money that the parents have or don't have, and it's just so cruel. And children are just so, teenagers especially, can be so cruel, and it just breaks my heart and makes me so mad. So like I said in another video before, please, if you see something like that, do something about it, say something about it, because it's just not right, and we definitely see that in this show as well. And it is quite interesting to see that those problems don't just go away in a zombie apocalypse. You still have people, survivors, that think they are better than other students, other people, and that it's okay to do what they do in this show. And it just, I was flabbergasted because I couldn't believe what was happening, and that this one character seriously did what she did. And I'm not going to get into detail again because I don't want to spoiler you. I do have to say though, there was also hope, because students that were not friends before stuck together, helped each other out, tried to survive together. So that was definitely a nice thing to see. There was hope in humanity after all. So keep that in mind. If ever a zombie apocalypse is happening in real life, be kind to one another, try to help each other out and to survive together, I guess. And compared to other shows that are on Netflix right now, like Sweet Home, for example, or even the movie #Alive, also good shows, good movie, definitely entertaining. And this series can definitely, hold up to the standards of those shows, I guess you could say, and are definitely enjoyable to watch. So if you don't know what to watch and you enjoy watching zombie apocalypse kind of, settings, then maybe give Sweet Home and #Alive a try. #Alive is a movie that is, just around 1 hour 40 minutes long, so you don't have to invest that much time into it as you have to do with a series like Sweet Home or All of Us Are Dead. But all of those three are definitely, a recommendation from me. Sweet Home, though, is not really a zombie show. It is also kind of science fiction-y, but it is more monster situation than zombies, so keep that in mind. Also recommended it to you guys, so if you haven't seen that video, please go over and watch it after this video. To summarize the whole thing, I recommend All of Us Are Dead on Netflix. Korean shows are always kind of special, specifically if you get into the horror genre. I wouldn't call this a horror genre. It is a zombie movie, so is a zombie movie a horror genre? I don't know. Isn't it kind of science fiction? Well, we don't know. Anyways, definitely recommend it if you have watched it. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you think about All of Us Are Dead. Are you excited for a second season? Do you think there will be a second season? I kind of hope so. Nothing is confirmed yet, but I do hope that, same for Sweet Home, that we will get a second season, because it is based on a webtoon. There is more to tell. So, let's go. So, this was my little review for All of Us Are Dead. What a lovely title. If you enjoyed this video, leave me a comment below, like and share this video, and I hope you have a wonderful week, a wonderful weekend, and I will see you in my next video. Stay real, keep it real, and bye bye.